start here. Police have discovered another 2 bodies believed to belong to illegal miners in Krugersdorp. The bodies were found near an open shaft where 19 bodies were discovered yesterday. Authorities don't suspect foul play and preliminary investigations show the bodies were moved to the site. Police spokesperson Brenda Muridili is on the line with us now, and she joins us now just for more details. Brigadier, thank you very much for your time here on eNCA. Just firstly, police saying that at the moment they don't suspect foul play, but at the same time these bodies were moved from one scene to another. Is this still your stance?
Good day, Maseho, and good day to the viewers of eNCA. Yes, 2 more bodies were discovered this morning following our search and rescue team going back to the scene. The 2 bodies were actually recovered and discovered from an open mine shaft, not far from where the 19 bodies were found.
And at the moment, Brigadier, police have been saying that no foul play is being, you don't think there was any foul play that played a part. But if you're saying that it looks like the bodies have been moved from one area to another, do police still believe that there hasn't been any foul play?
Yes, there's no evidence that suggests that these people were murdered. The only challenge now is that, yes, we believe that they were moved. But since the 2 bodies were found inside an open mine shaft, we believe that for now, but it's something that will be proven through the investigation of this inquest, that these 19 bodies could have possibly come from the open mine shaft where the other 2 were discovered.
And, as police investigate and open an inquest docket into this matter, what's happening? Do you know what's happening at the scene at the moment? Are you still possibly going to have to go into the mine and the shaft itself to see if there's more?
The search and rescue team, as well as crime scene management, including our LCRC, they're still on the scene and processing the scene.
And considering the fact that the weather is not necessarily on your side at the moment, it's raining and it looks like it'll rain some more throughout the course of the day, will this hamper your investigations at the mine?
Not necessarily. As and when the search and rescue team deem the environment not to be conducive for them to continue, and they believe that they still more bodies, they will go back as and when the environment allows.
And for the moment, Brigadier, are you ruling out any possibility of finding more?
For the moment, yes, but they are continuing the search for where they are. They have come the scene thoroughly and there is no more bodies, but they are continuing. Because remember, these people, the 2, were found in an open mine shaft. So those that have the equipment and the facility to go closer to where these people were found will be doing that. Remember, we're not doing this alone. We're also there with the management of the mine.
And just lastly, Brigadier, I know that the police's scope of investigation when it comes to illegal mining, particularly here in the Gauteng province, must be much wider. I mean, a few weeks ago to about 2 months ago, police also found the bodies of murdered illegal miners or alleged illegal miners on the highway. I believe it was the N1. So my question basically is that is the investigation, with regards to illegal mining in Gauteng probably widened after this particular incident?
Remember, with the interventions that were done in Krugersdorp following that unfortunate incident of the rape, where eight women were raped, we got resources to augment the Gauteng members from national head office. So those resources, the specialized units that have been posted here in Gauteng, they are still operating. They have their own schedule. They go around all these areas where the illegal mining incident, including your Florida, where you mentioned the bodies that were discovered, as well as Langlachte and as well as all the other areas. So they are going around. And, with these illegal miners, as and when the police stabilize an area, they move to another area. But then we will continue with the operations, and then we will continue to arrest those that are found to be conducting illegal mining in the area.
And just lastly, Brigadier, before I let you go, earlier you said no foul play for the moment because there's no evidence pointing to that. I'm assuming looking at their bodies, maybe there's no gunshot wound or a stab wound, and that's why you've ruled out foul play for now. But obviously, I'm assuming that for now the investigation is still at an early stage. You might be surprised later after forensics are done on these bodies.
Yes, it will depend on what the forensic after the postmortem says, the cause of death were, and the police will take it from there if it is suspected that there was foul play.
And Brigadier, is there any chance that maybe the Minister of Police, are you hearing anything about the Ministry of Police, planning to go out to that site? Krugersdorp has been quite a problem for the police, especially when it comes to illegal mining in that area.
No, I do not have any information as to whether the minister will be revisiting, but the minister has been there several times in terms of not only in the area of West Rand, he has also been in the area of Gauteng, Johannesburg district, in terms of supporting the SAPS in their endeavors and operations to curb this illegal mining.
Are the Amaberete still out in that community? I remember it was one of the things that the community complained about, police visibility in the area, and at some point after the operations, the Amaberete was in and around areas in Krugersdorp. Is this still the case?
We must remember that in terms of the specialized unit, they are not there to augment crime prevention activities. They are there to do targeted operations. So as and when they do them, the community members might see them if they're operating during the day, but if they're operating during the night, possibly the community is not going to be able to do. They do targeted operations. They do not do patrols, regular patrols that are being done by the regular policing and the local police station. So that's what we have to keep in mind. So the fact that the community is not seeing them does not necessarily mean they are not there. Like I said, these interventions that were sent from national, the extra deployment, it's still in place, and they have a schedule which they use to go around to stabilize all these areas where there is illegal mining.
But Brigadier, you see, the concern by community members is that even with police visibility, the illegal mining in the area still goes ahead unabated.
Yes, we agree with regards to that. Because like I said, let's take for example Krugersdorp. We went there, we stabilized the area, and then the municipality stepped in, and then the necessary, all the other road players, they stepped in, and those open shafts that the illegal miners were using, they were closed. Some of those illegal miners moved to the Florida site in Johannesburg, as well as Matholesville in policing precinct of Krugersdorp. But then we went there again, and those areas were stabilized and flattened. But then when you go back after a month, you find that they are already there. So what we use this opportunity, as and when after we flatten them, it gives us opportunity to go to more areas, flatten them. But then we will also go back and flatten again, because we're not going to be tired of doing this. It's going to be something that is continuous, and for as long as we have those extra manpower from head of these operations in terms of illegal mining will continue.
So can you appreciate why the community members would make the accusations that police are involved?
Yes, we do appreciate that, and we never take it lightly when the community members accuse our members that they are involved. But we also encourage the same community that is complaining that the police officers are involved to also liaise with the police. We have our anonymous tip-off line. They can use our 08600 10111 to report those police officers, because saying that police are involved and not saying where did you see them, and everybody has a phone now with a camera. Take a photo of those police officers committing those corrupt activities. It will assist the police when they do their investigation, because just saying that police in this police station are corrupt, yes, the intelligence as counterintelligence will come in and investigate, but if they do not have a targeted person, it becomes difficult for the police to investigate every police officer that is involved that is alleged to be involved in corruption. So we are always appealing to the community that as and when they see corrupt activities, well, they do not even have to report to us. They can also post it on social media. We pick it up and we follow it up.
And just lastly, Brigadier, I know I've kept you here for a little longer than I even anticipated. We've got live visuals coming to us from Lingen Dabambi, who is working with our reporter Puleli Chwiti Jones from that particular scene. We're seeing the police officers basically continuing with the search and rescue operations in that disused mine. But I want to go back to the point that you made, because I think it's very important. You said that a month ago, or when the operations happened in Krugersdorp, police sealed those shafts, and then a month later those shafts were reopened. So what do you think the problem is here? Maybe police are not getting enough support in terms of the legalities around disused mines in South Africa. We know that the law currently says that a company that leaves the mine is the one that is supposed to seal those mines, but they clearly don't. So if you're covering the shafts and then you come back a week or two later and it's opened again, what do you think the problem is? Maybe you're not getting enough support?
Not necessarily, Maseho. What I can say is that with the police, we deal with the illegal part of the mining. So as and when we found this, we roped in all the necessary road players, but we're not going to wait for those road players to come into the party, because this, we have realized, especially remember in Western, what happens that illegal mining and the illegal miners or the alleged illegal miners are perpetrating other crimes in the area. So we're not going to wait for that. But as and when, and with regards to this particular incident, that mine is not disused where this incident happened. That mine is still active. That's why I said we're working together with the mine managers to ensure that the police's search and rescue continues to search the area to ensure that they do not leave anybody behind. So with regards to what is happening with the police, as the police, we're not going to be deterred, or we're not going to be discouraged by us going to the same place over and over. For as long as we have the manpower and the resources to do that, we will work together with all the necessary role players and stakeholders and continue to do what we are mandated to do to deter crime.
All right, Brigadier, thank you so much for indulging us here on eNCA. I'm going to let you go now. That is Brigadier Muridili. She is speaking for the police in Gauteng after those 21 bodies, the death toll climbing to 21. Yesterday it was 19. Let's take you live.